Before we open up to questions, can I deal with undoubtedly what's our view of the immigration scam going on that went on in Aer Lingus catering? I think it's a storm in a teacup. The newspaper and general media coverage this morning is utter, complete rubbish. There's no basis for the assumptions that 600 people have arrived in this way, A couple of things. Firstly, the alleged passenger arrived in from Madrid and or Milan. You can only get through Madrid and or Milan with a passport. It's in Schengen. You can't get on board an aircraft without having documents for the passport that get you through passport control and into the Schengen area. So they've already passed through security. Secondly, no security system. And I believe, by the way, the immigration controls at Dublin Airport and the security at Dublin Airport are excellent. By any international standards, they are among the best, not alone in Europe, they're among the best in the world. But there is no system that will prevent collusion. And it's clear what you're dealing with here is a relatively small case, or maybe a small number of cases where you have collusion. I think the fact that the collusion was caught and identified, I suspect reasonably early on in the process. I don't believe there's been a large number of numbers have come through this way, but that's my guess. It's as valid as the guesses I've seen this morning in the papers that 600 people have emerged in this way. The fact that it's been caught, and I suspect caught reasonably early on, is an indication that the both immigration and security at Dublin Airport are not just excellent, but excellent are among the best anywhere in the world. And all of the other nonsensical rubbish that I've had to listen to and read this morning, that there now have to be checks on people arriving in, that the airlines will have to verify all of their passenger lists. We already send all of our passenger lists to the authorities, both here in Ireland, in Europe, and many of the airlines that fly to the US have to do the same thing. So security, control over immigration, airline details of their passenger networks, and the fact that all those passengers can only come here having passed through security and passport checks at airports in Madrid or Milan should cause people to calm down and stop getting so upset over what is, relatively speaking, a storm in a teacup. And with that, now we'll open up for questions.
Okay, guys, just ask you, there's a few new faces here this morning. Can you just state your name and publication before you ask your question?
Fergal O'Brien from TV3.
Fergal, yeah.
In relation to the two tweets regarding the people trafficking case,
yeah.
There's been a lot of criticism of those tweets that they were in bad taste. And
yeah.
These are quite serious. Do you regret that the airline tweeted those out last night?
When I saw the tweets, we have a social media team who spend their day involved in this. As you know, I am a long-standing fan and supporter of social media. I treat it with the contempt with which it deserves. I didn't think they were particularly funny last night when they went out. But I must say I am highly enthused by the reaction, the response they've got. If we can upset that many snowflakes on Twitter and on social media, as well as entertain probably about an equal number of somewhat less snowflakier people, I intend to give our social media team a well done note and probably a pay raise for generating an unusual amount of free publicity for Ryanair seat sales.
I think the bigger thing is the issue rather than the stuff on Twitter last night. We have a very healthy banter with Aer Lingus almost every week on social media, and they absolutely throw things back at us as well. So I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal
I think
at
it's
all.
great.
The bigger issue is let's not make a very big deal out of what happened to Dublin Airport. Dublin Airport will fix it, and we will continue to have good, healthy banter with Aer Lingus on a number of issues.
That sounds like marketing speak, but anyway, we're trying to come up with some, we've encouraged the social media team to come up with some more angles on it if they can. Yes?
Juliette Gash, Today FM News. How does that tally though with your new happy clappy customer service face if you are then making light of such a serious situation?
I think at least you can demonstrate the traffic numbers are rapidly growing traffic numbers demonstrate the success of our new happy clappy, not just new happy clappy, but customer focused and caring side of the airline. But that doesn't mean we're not going to have fun, and we won't encourage our social media team to have fun. And if some people don't get the joke, then I think they need to lighten up and wise up.
Can you be certain that no one in Ryanair would be involved in something similar?
I can be absolutely certain that nobody in Ryanair would be involved in something similar. Firstly, because we don't have a lot of catering. Secondly, we have no catering trucks. Thirdly, you can't fit in the catering bars on board a Ryanair aircraft. I thought on one of the other witticisms that appeared on Twitter this morning, in that, Ryanair, we wouldn't be engaged in, what was it? People smuggling, we'd enslave them when they got here to Dublin Airport. So no, I'm fairly certain that Ryanair, but look, and I make no criticism of Aer Lingus in this. This was clearly, from what you could read, the facts of this morning is there appeared to be a couple of people in their catering operation involved in some kind of in collusion. And there's no security system in the world that is capable of dealing with issues where there's issues of collusion. I think we should draw those significant comfort from the fact that the Garda Síochána and, to be fair, the immigration services at Dublin Airport have managed to identify this and weed it out so quickly.
What makes you think that there has been probably only a small number of people who have got through? Because it was the Gardaí themselves who were suggesting that this could have been going on for years, and that there could have been hundreds of people.
Because I think my guess that it hasn't been going on for a number of years is as valid as the Gardaí's suggestion that it is. As we know, and much as I love the Garda Síochána, there's no better men to blow up the involvement that they're breaking an international crime gang, syndicate, triads, what else was there, all the rest of it. There's no evidence to support any of that whatsoever. I think the unfortunate thing is the Gardaí, who deserve significant praise for identifying this, tend in their media briefings to overplay it. It's a bit like every time they find tuppence worth of drugs, it becomes a multi-billion-pound drug seizure at street values and all the rest of it. The security and the immigration. And the bit that is missed in all this is these two passengers who flew, or one passenger who flew on an Aer Lingus aircraft, came through passport control, either I'm not sure it's Madrid or Milan, passed through passport control. I have little doubt if they wanted to, and their documentation is that good, they could have passed through passport control in Dublin as well. So this is not the issue or this huge kind of scandal that, admittedly, it's a quiet news day, so, the media are right to play it up. But the kind of stuff this morning on the radio, that they could be importing guns and arms and drugs this way as well. No, you can't. You can't get guns through international airports, nor will you get drugs through them either. So people should calm down.
Sorry, Michael, just in terms of where you said they came from, are you saying that there was an issue with the passport control at the entry point at Madrid or Barcelona?
I'm not. I'm saying, though, definitively those passengers couldn't get on board an Aer Lingus aircraft or a Ryanair aircraft without going through passport control and security checks in another European airport, Madrid or I'm told that the passenger either came from Madrid or from Rome. And so, and I have little doubt if they'd gone through passport control in Dublin, they would have gotten through passport control in Dublin. It's much easier. I mean, if the rumour that this is 20 grand and 30 grand per person, it's a lot easier to manufacture a fake passport.
Are you concerned, Michael, that ostensibly it's the airline's responsibility to get a passenger from the aircraft to immigration? That doesn't obviously happen in practice because it's unrealistic to expect that to happen. But do you think that the danger of the overreaction, as you might suggest, to this could be that the airport authority could place more of an onus on airlines to do that, and that creates real headache for airlines?
No, I don't think so. Look, I think, to be fair to them, the airports respond to these things when the occasional one of these things blows up. The airports are wonderful at washing their hands of passenger responsibility when there's a problem. Oh, it's always the airline's fault, unless it's duty-free sales or something. Then they suddenly become the airport's customer. Look, all of the Ryanair passengers are offloaded off our aircraft. They're shepherded into the terminal building at Dublin Airport. There's only one way of getting out of that terminal building, and that is up through passport control. In many respects, one of the biggest problems we have at the moment at Dublin Airport is how badly staffed, certainly in Terminal 1, the passport control is. They have designed a system whereby the machine readers are stuck in between the two sets of booths and no passengers can get at the machine readers. So we're jumping up and down at the moment to get the machines out to one side so that people who actually have those passports don't have to be stuck in queues arriving in. So I don't think it's an issue. I accept that it is a quiet news day post-Trump and everything else, and this makes for a great story. And it makes for a wonderful story on social media. I've rarely been as entertained as I have been this morning with some of the commentary on social media about the quality and the scope of Aer Lingus' catering service. So we should all calm down. Immigration and security at Dublin Airport is top-notch. They have recently passed through the EU security checks, and therefore that's all it is. Storm in a teacup.